What is the YMAG ETF? Is the dividend yield really 39%? Seriously? How safe could that be? What stocks are included in the YMAG ETF? We'll answer all those questions and more for you in this video. Greetings, Squirrel Squad. This is your high-flying, electrifying, star-studded, warm-blooded, savvy stock squirrel. I'm coming to you live with another episode of The Nut House, where we talk about stock, investments, saving, retirement, and everything in between. On this wealth-building journey, come along for the ride. And hold on to your nuts, because squirrel mode is activated. Also stay tuned to the very end of this video for a secret surprise. LOL. What is YMAG? This is the YieldMax Magnificent 7 ETF. This ETF is what YieldMax considers the fund of funds. It primarily invests its assets in 7 YieldMax ETFs. The fund's name refers to its strategy of gaining exposure to the common stocks of 7 companies, which together are commonly referred to as the Magnificent 7. The portfolio will be reallocated on a monthly basis, so that each of the 7 YieldMax ETFs held in the fund's portfolio is equally weighted. What stocks are included in the YMAG ETF? The Magnificent 7, of course. These include Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla, NVDA, and Meta, formerly known as Facebook. It has a 39.65% dividend yield that is paid out monthly. Yes, you heard that correctly, my smooth brain squirrel friends. No need to clean out your eardrums. A freaking 39% dividend. But, and this is a big but, don't get your nuts all tingly yet, there is a catch. A pretty big catch, which I will explain shortly. YMAG has an expense ratio of 1.28%, which is extremely high. Like, holy crap, that's high. Like, if you're Donald Trump, maybe it's not an issue, but to everyday squirrels like us, that's some serious money waste.
You're fired.
Especially if there is a high amount capital invested that can really eat into your profits. So what is YMAG? It's the YieldMax Magnificent 7 Fund of Option Income. It's an actively managed exchange-traded fund, or ETF. The fund's primary investment objective is to seek current income from the YieldMax MAG 7 ETFs. The dividend yield is high, but you have to make sure you watch out for capital erosion, also known as NAV decay. In funds like this, where the dividend yield is extremely high, sometimes you will have a decrease in your initial investment capital. If you're retired and you're collecting income, then it might not be an issue. Another thing that is problematic with these types of funds is that as your NAV is decreasing, sometimes the dividend yield will decrease as well, leaving you stuck in the fund as your dividend yield is decreasing. This can be alleviated by reinvesting a portion of the dividend yields back into the principal to correct this, but you shouldn't have to do that. A solid income-producing dividend ETF should have capital appreciation, as well as a solid dividend yield over a long period of time. A good example of this is JEPQ from JP Morgan. YMAG is a brand new YieldMax ETF, so we'll have to see if it can stand the test of time. What are my thoughts on YMAG? I think it's a great concept if you're retired and looking to collect a sizable income from your investment capital. If you're an older investor, this can be a great option. For younger investors, you would want to focus more on growth, and I don't feel like this would be a good choice for capital appreciation. Also understand that if you keep an ETF like this in a taxable brokerage account, it will be a taxable event every month when you receive a dividend payment. This would eat into your profits at every single dividend payment. You would want to keep a dividend fund like this in a tax-advantaged stock account, such as a Roth IRA. Now it's time for my official squirrel score and final nut rating. How many nuts would I rate the YieldMax MAG 7 Dividend Income ETF? Let's hear the drum roll. I give this ETF 3 out of 5 nuts. First, let's start with the positives. If you know the Stock Squirrel, you know I love my MAG 7 stocks. Having all these companies in one single ETF is fantastic. Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google, Amazon, you can't go wrong. I also love the massive dividend yield of over 39%, which is paid monthly. Unfortunately, my squirrel friends, that's where the fun ends. Now, what I don't love about the stock. Here's a few negatives. First, I don't like the expense ratio of 1.28%. That is insanely high and will eat into your profits massively. I don't see the reasoning for charging such a high expense ratio for something like this. I also don't like how there is next to no capital appreciation and a very high chance of principal decay. I understand the monthly dividend is large, but there are other funds out there that have healthy capital appreciation, JEPQ, and that also have a juicy dividend yield. This fund is also very new, so hopefully YieldMax can make this work. We don't need another Mr. Hanky stinking up the stock market. There's already plenty of turds in the markets. We don't need another one. Thank you for joining me for another episode of The Nut House. And remember, my squirrel friends, the secret to squirrel success. Never stop gathering your nuts. We are chasing dreams and acorns. The Stock Squirrel is signing off. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Lastly, what are your favorite ETFs? Are you invested in YMAG? Comment down below. Can you smell that? It's coffee time. Thank you for listening. It's been wonderful sipping coffee, hanging out, and talking stocks with my favorite squirrel subscribers. Please like and subscribe to me on YouTube. My family and I would greatly appreciate it. It puts us on the YouTube algorithm so more families can learn about finance and investing. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter, X, and Instagram if you want to see a financially savvy fat squirrel in action, and believe me, you'll see some action. Also, please understand that I am not giving investment or financial advice. You, the listener, are responsible for your own actions and investment activities. I am only here to provide education. Please don't be one fry short of the happy meal and blow up your stock account. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that. You are fake news.